違う違う俺じゃ
Top 10 anime where the main character returns to the past. Anime where the main character essentially gets a second shot at life are always a delight to see, and in this video we'll be talking about such anime. The top 10 anime where the main character returns to the past. We have plenty of gems to talk about, especially the top 5. Now, be sure to subscribe. Well then.
だけど今僕の目の前に広がっているのは戻りたくて仕方なかった10年前のあの日の世界だった
The first anime on our list is number 10, Remake Our Life. A 28-year-old man named Kiyoya is going through a period of intense stagnation. He left his job to pursue a career in the gaming industry, but it didn't go so well. In the end, he had to go back to his parents. There, he thinks about life and wonders what his life could have been like if he had gone to an arts university instead of the college he chose. Part of the reason is also because he is jealous of the insane success of a group called Platinum Generation. They are all the same age as him but have achieved everything he dreamed of. What if, when he graduated high school, he chose a different path? What if he chose to do what he actually wanted? He knows there are no second chances in life, but still, if given another chance, he'll choose what he really wants to do. And so just like that, he goes to sleep and wakes up as an 18-year-old. Now, what will he choose?
まだご挨拶しとらんやった。何今の
2階だ
Number 9, Tokyo Revengers. Tokyo Revengers is a new and really popular shonen, one that centers around gangs and stuff, and if you look at the insane success of the manga, you'd see that it really is the next big thing along with Jujutsu Kaisen. The story begins with our protagonist named Takamichi, who is a miserable adult that even gets laughed at by kids. One day, he receives the news of the tragic death of his former girlfriend as well as her brother, and wonders about how his middle school life went. And then, as he is about to board a train, he ends up falling on the tracks and dies. Interestingly enough, his eyes open yet again, only this time he is in the body of his 14-year-old self. Now, is this a new beginning or another cycle of tragedy?
12年後の7月1日お前の姉ちゃんは死ぬその時お前も一緒に死ぬんだ
At number 8, we have SAGRADA Reset. The story takes place in a town called Sakurada, where people are born with weird abilities. The main character named Kei lives in this town, but one day on the school rooftop, he encounters a socially awkward girl with a rather interesting ability. She has the power of resetting the time of anything and everything up to 3 days. However, even she doesn't recall when or how she used the ability after the reset has taken place. Be that as it may, Kei also has an ability. His ability is called photographic memory, and oddly enough, this ability complements her ability, considering how even if she doesn't recall anything, Kei can still remember everything using his ability. Together, they join the service club and seek to help others who are in not so desirable situations.
Reset 殿、なんだか今日はいつもとご様子が違いますね。
そう
お顔の色もよろしいですし、まるで別人のようでございます。
Number 7, Nobunaga Concerto. History is a fascinating subject, but for the young and naive high school students named Soburo, he couldn't care less about what happened in Japan's past. It has nothing to do with his life, however, a strange twist of fate makes him go back in time to the Sengoku era. In fact, he lands directly in front of the renowned and legendary general Oda Nobunaga. Oddly enough, both of them appear to have a striking resemblance to each other, and for Oda Nobunaga, who was tired of running from his retainers all the time, he decided to make Saburo take his place. An interesting turn of events indeed. Now, how shall it proceed? Will Saburo's view of history change for the better?
しかしつけ出し君など我らはいらぬ
今日は確か ナイスな日なのに。
Number 6, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. The story follows a young and lively girl named Makoto who happens to be in her final year of high school but still hasn't decided what she wants to do next. She always has to endure lectures from his teachers and obviously favors her time being spent with her best friends instead. But in the middle of all this hustle, she accidentally comes to a grand realization that she has somehow become capable of literally leaping through time. The story follows her playing around with this power until, of course, she learns the hard way that every choice has consequences. Alright guys, time for the top 5 picks. Let's see how many of these you have already watched.
リライフ研究所の地で開発した飛躍です。被験者に選ばれ、これ飲めば見た目高校生まで若返れますから。
Number 5, Real Life. In the case of Real Life, the main character doesn't really travel back to time. Rather, he is given an opportunity to relive his high school life, and in turn comes to important realizations about life. The protagonist is a 27-year-old supposed NEET who doesn't have a job and gets repeatedly rejected from different companies because of a certain record in his career. He is depressed, and then he meets a mysterious man named Ryu, who offers him a chance to change his life for the better by taking a certain kind of pill. The company can literally make it so he can relive his life as a high school student.
じゃあ自己紹介が終わったところで。すぐにテストを始めます。大丈夫？危なかったな。
Number 4, Erased. The main character named Sotaru is an interesting fellow. Whenever a tragedy is about to befall, he is sent sometimes into the past to before it occurs. Sotaru has used his abilities to save many lives. However, in a rapid turn of events, when he is accused of murdering someone, he gets sent 18 years in the past. He soon realizes that the murder in the future is connected to the abduction and ultimately killing one of his classmates. But now that he has the opportunity to change the future, what will he do?
サトル？
Number 3, REZERO, starting life in another world. REZERO has gained such a reputation in the past 5 or so years that it needs not any further introduction. It is essentially the story of a man named Subaru, who gets Isekai to a fantasy world but never gets any of the Isekai privileges except one, which is that every time he dies, he goes back to a certain checkpoint in the past. A tragic ability indeed. I'd say the story constantly evolves, and now in the later seasons, we are getting a better, more defined view of the reality this story takes place in. So if you haven't gotten the chance to experience this story, now is good as a time as any.
風の加護。素敵。世界に愛されているのね。あなた。妬ましい。
数据我都记下了，委托完成。
Number 2, Link Click. Here we have a new but legendary Chinese anime that has surprised the anime community in several ways and is now among the top 25 highest rated anime of all time on my anime list. The plot is complicated, or rather it is difficult to explain, so I'd say something you should experience for yourself for sure. But to give you a short overview, 2 young boys named Cheng Xiuxi and Lu Guang work at the Time Photo Studio, a small photography shop that is placed in the back way of a modern metropolis. Throughout the course of the series, they take up several jobs where they use the photos to essentially time travel in order to help their clients. I'd say if there's one thing for sure, it's that this anime would surprise you.
准备，出发。
あの運命の時計台前でテニスサークルキューピッドを選んだことへの後悔の念は振り払えない。
Number 1. The Tatami Galaxy. The Tatami Galaxy is an anime that gives you a somewhat different view of the whole going back in time thing. The main character calls himself Watashi, and in each episode he ends up in a state of intense dilemma when he realizes that he has wasted the past 2 years of his university life. But the thing in that time, each time at the end of the episode, he goes back in time to the point where he had just joined the university. But whatever club he chooses or decisions he makes, he never ends up realizing the rose-colored campus life he always dreamed of, or does he? To put it simply, this anime is a surreal experience, and I'd say it will get more appreciation among the older audience than in the younger one. Now, what do you think of these animes? Have you watched them, or are you planning on watching them? Go and take over the comments section. We've got some anime time travel to talk about. Don't forget to press that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and leave a comment saying I subscribed, and I'll personally reply to your comment. I didn't include Steins Gate in this video because almost all of you could have already predicted that, but if you have any other animes in mind that falls under the title of this video, be sure to share them with everyone. It'll be much appreciated. Well then, I'll see you guys on my next video.